What do we got going on in here? Hi, JJ. How are you doing, bud? Miss Brownie, taking a siesta. Bossy Pig, you made a nice nest over there. Today, like many days, we are going to clean pig pens. Yep. On Just a Few Acres Farm today, cleaning pig pens. Boy, a lot of fun. It's so exciting.
Oh, man.
But first, we got to get you troublemakers out of here. Yes, you get in the way when we're cleaning, don't you? We need a little bait. A little bait in this pen. I'm working on it. Off you go. Into the other pen. Brownie waddles in.
He does.
We got big pigs over here hanging out. And we got little pigs on this side. They know somebody's on the other side. They got to check it out. Right, Billy? You got to check it out. Today is a big day for Bossy Pig. All Bossy Pig needs is a little cleaning right there. That's her toilet. Otherwise, she's good. Yep, that's Bossy Pig. You always like to have a scratch. You do. I can even scratch your jaw, which is not common for pigs. And do the middle of the back. Pigs always like that. All right, Miss Bossy Pig. Yeah, we're gonna move. Let's go. Come in. Come in. Down the aisle you go. Those other guys are fighting. Come in. That's Miss Brownie. You gotta go right in there. We can say hi. You know, you're pretty close to the size of Brownie. Height-wise, anyway.
Yeah, she is.
Here you go. Come on. Well, no. You got to do the meet and greet again, huh? Oh, meet JJ. No, we're not going back this way. We're going to go around. We're going to go around. You got to point your head over there. Come in. You got to go this way. You got to go this way. There you go. This is a nice pen for you. It's nice and dry. All right, you guys. Let's go. That's good. Come on. Brian, you're going right in here. There you go. Now, JJ, let's just back a little bit here. We'll get this all set up for you here. I have a new friend I would like you to meet. Go that way, go the other way. I'm gonna have to do a little pig herding here. Let's go. Over this way. Come on. Come on. There you go. Come on, JJ. You know better. You know where to go. Don't get mad. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Go in with Brownie. Don't be shy. Come on, Brownie. Come on, JJ. There he seems to be a little scared of her. Come in. Get in there. Go. What do we got going on in here? He's checking. She's saying, don't give me any of that.
This is like a dance at the middle school.
At the middle school dance. It's okay, Bossy Pig. He's going to be your friend. He's giving you the nudge. That's what pigs do. It's one of the ways they check. The nudge in the front shoulder. Huh. Do you want to? Yeah, you're going to stay in there. You are. You got to earn your living. You do. So here's the deal. Bossy Pig is about 7.5 months now. 200 to 225 days is where you want to start breeding them. She's pretty much grown out. She'll grow a little bit bigger, but we found from experience that as sows get older and they get bigger, they have more of a chance of crushing piglets. The younger we get them in here, the more litters, you know, we can get on early before she gets that big. Hillary and I have been tracking her heats, and she was in heat about a week and a half ago, so we'll look and see. About a week and a half, he should get her, hopefully. Gilts, which are young female pigs that haven't had a litter yet, will cycle starting, we see them start cycling in our breeds at about 4 months or so. So she's been cycling. It's a matter of getting her bred now. And Brownie here was in with JJ for 4 weeks. And I showed it on video, if you remember the one that YouTube would monetize. He bred her the day that she went in. We thought she was in heat, that's why we put her in. I thought it might be a false heat because sometimes you can trigger a false heat when you put a boar in with a sow. It wasn't though, she didn't come back in heat, so we're gonna count you as bred, Miss Brownie. Yep. What do you little guys think of all this? Billy, you're developing some nice front shoulders. You are. Look at that stance. You're a good pig. Hi, Tiny Tim. Hi, little porkers. I'm coming in to see ya. I'm coming in. You're chewing on a rock. You're eating. Mrs. Pigglesworth, you got plenty of feed. We moved Mrs. Pigglesworth out of the pen with Billy and put her in with the feeder pigs because she's a feeder pig. She's going in the spring and she was getting too big, so we hoisted her up, put her in here. She integrated with the other pigs all right. They kind of messed with her for a while and she was unhappy, but she's integrated now. Unfortunately, we lost another one of these pigs. It was the hunchback one. I don't know if you remember, but I mentioned in the video right after we got him that hunchback is a sign of inbreeding. This batch of pigs we got, the genetics are not good on them. He was eating and drinking fine, just never gained weight, scrawny. Genetics. I gotta check the glow plugs on this. I think I burned out a few of them. That ticking you hear is the fan blade hitting the shroud once in a while. I had to replace the alternator because it's seized up and needs a little bit of adjustment. I gotta fix that. Ladies, it looks like you got enough to last a couple more days. Here's our hay situation as of mid-January. We've got a lot of 4x4 bales that we bought from our neighbors. We've got some 5x5s that we made ourselves, along with some 4x5s net wrap that we purchased a year ago, last winter. Our cattle eat about one of these 4x4 bales every day, and a 5x5, the kind that we make here on the farm, they last about 2 days. Up until about a week ago, we were feeding hay that we had lined up out in the field. You remember that. It was chopped. It had a roto-chopper on the baler, and then it was net wrapped. That stuff was baled and then stored outside, and then when I bought it, it had been already stored outside, so I in turn stored it outside, and I was amazed because I've never stored bales that were made that way, roto-chopped and net wrapped outside, and the spoilage I had on them was about an inch, maybe less than an inch thick all the way around, and then just on the bottom where they touch, because these bales don't sag, they're tightly baled, I had a strip about this wide and probably about that thick, which we always toss into the pig pen. It doesn't go to waste. I was amazed how little waste there was in them after being stored outside for, how long was that? At least 4 months, probably closer to 6 months. The only real pain in the butt about storing them outside was when you had freezing weather, that crust turned into just a frozen shell, so you'd have to peel the crust off of the bale. Also, getting the net wrap off of the bale was kind of a pain when the net wrap was frozen right to the hay, and sometimes we'd have to just set aside, wait for the weather to thaw, and then separate out the net wrap. But all in all, very little spoilage from storing that right outside, even on the ground. Very little spoilage from the ground. And most of the bales made around here, 5x5s, well, they're either wrapped into baleage or they're just stored outside in rows like I had. And very few farmers store dry round bales inside around here. But I do. I store most of our hay inside, except in rare cases like I just talked about, because our baler makes looser bales and that would result in more spoilage. I like to be thrifty with my hay when I can keep the good stuff good. Munch, 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 munch. Gotta get the good stuff. What are you guys doing? I still got to take care of you guys. Especially you. Yeah, you. You seem to be the boss of this batch. You do. You're the bravest and biggest. Hey, you. Don't chew on my hose. You can't reach it. What are you doing? Stop messing. I've been taking advantage of this slow time in the farm to do a little traveling with my kids, my 2 younger kids. My oldest has moved out of the house, but my 2 younger are 14 and the other one's about to be 17, and what a great time to travel with kids. I took them to Montreal a couple weeks ago for a weekend, and then I took them to Boston this last weekend, and I never had the ability to travel before, but the farm's become such that Hillary doesn't like to travel, and so if we load up the hay for the cows and fill up all the water and the feeder for the pigs, chores are kind of kept to a minimum. Hillary can take care of them, and I wish that Hillary would go, but she's a homebody even more than I am. It was nice to get out and see the city. I hadn't been to a major city really in 10 years, and it strikes me going to the city that you know, life is so much different there than for us, and I guess maybe I've forgotten about how different people's perspective can be when they're put in an urban environment like that from me, living out in the country. And I thought about that difference in perspective because I wanted to say something insightful about it. Racked my brain while I was there, took it all in, and realized this was something we used to go back and forth about in my old job, the studio that I had that was focused on sustainable design, talked about city sustainability and country sustainability. There are two sides, there are two hands of the same person, two sides of the coin. You know, both lifestyles are essential to the way our society operates now, and I see equal merits in both of them. I just happen to be a person who likes to be connected to the source of things. So living in the country, that's the way it is. To heat our home, we go down and we cut firewood, and we're kind of responsible. We're not turning on a switch or setting a thermostat. We're, you know, responsible for the whole supply chain. Same with most of our food. And the thing that I really saw in the city was energy intensity. You know, lots of energy, electricity, that kind of energy, electricity, fuel, highly intense in cities, riding the subway, you know, all that infrastructure. And it works out to be efficient because so many people are using it, and people are living very close together, very different from what I view as being a low energy lifestyle in the country where, you know, we're growing our own food and being responsible for our own kind of footprint on the earth. I also saw that living in the city and being disconnected or remote from those supply sources, unlike the way we live here, can make people forget where their bread's buttered. And it all has to do with choice. That there's so much affluence brings choice. So as our society we live in a fairly affluent society overall in the U.S. compared to what history tells us. And with affluence brings choice. So some of the stuff that, you know, you see out there about particular diets and the way people want to live, and they have that choice. You know, maybe in my grandparents, well, I'm sure in my grandparents' generation, they didn't have much of a choice. They lived the way they lived, and they ate what they ate because that's what they needed to do to survive. And to have that choice, I think, is a great benefit to how far we've come. Those are my thoughts. I don't favor one over the other. I think to each his own. I respect people as long as they make an intelligent choice in the way that they live, I guess. So, I don't know. That's all I got today. A little bit of a mishmash thought, but I think it's important. I think it's important to respect each other, and no matter our sort of way of life. As long as we're not hurting one another, I think respect is important. Hope you have a great day. I'm going to get that tractor running in the next episode. I promise. Just got to get back to it. I'll see you next time. You guys seem happy. Yeah, jumping around. You're going to lay down and take a snooze, huh? The other guys are back there taking a snooze.